Napoleon, Total War, Russia. My intent here is to try and show you different things that you should be doing as Russia that you may not have thought of. One thing I'm going to mention to you is that you have in the beginning a college in the Moscow province. Typically when I play, I also put a college up in Courland. I tear down the Gentlemen's Club and I put a college there instead. That way Russia starts with 2 colleges. It's important for Russia to move up the tech tree as quickly as possible because Russia is faced with some financial issues. What you're seeing in the background under my voice is me playing as Russia with battle difficulty set to high and game difficulty set to what I would consider the most historical. Historical to me means that the AI in the game plays more like the actual countries did during the Napoleonic Wars. That's the way I like to play. And I like to play for fun. I'm not in it to try and meet the objectives of the game. I am here to play for fun, which in my mind is what every game should be played for. A couple of other things you need to be aware of is Little Tartary and Courland are the 2 provinces in Russia that are most likely to rebel against Russia early in the game if you do not keep those provinces happy or under military suppression. In the beginning, I go with military suppression. One of the other things I want to mention is that you will see me do some interesting things with agents that you may have thought of, you may not have thought of. So as I play, I will show you things that I do that will hopefully help you have a better experience with the game. Right now, what you're seeing is me grouping my forces together and me basically setting up the suppression in Courland and things like that. One other thing I will let you know is typically any port, whether it be trading or dry dock, I always put some military presence in that port. The game sort of annoys me a little bit when it puts a naval fleet into that port and then I have to spend Russian income to repair it. So that prevents that from happening in the beginning of the game. Something else you need to contemplate when you play Russia is that Russia is a vast, vast, vast country. It takes many, many turns to go from the eastern portion to the western portion. That being said, it's important for you to honor your commitment to Austria. Now, I say Austria, I do not say Prussia, I do not say England, because as you get into the later years of the campaign, Prussia will become aggressive and start taking over all of the countries like Baden-Württemberg and the Netherlands and countries like that. Austria, on the other hand, will always stand next to the Russians. I have not played a game as Russia where the Austrians have turned against me. I have played games as Russia where the English have turned against me, where the Prussians have turned against me, but never the Austrians. So always honor the Austrians and be there to support them when you can. You have the ability to create a trading post in Little Tartary. One thing I will mention, though, is it's highly likely that you're going to come into conflict with the Ottomans very early in the game. So be careful what you build there, because it may be destroyed by the Ottoman Navy. As far as overall tactics go for the Russians, it makes no sense for you to build up anything in Moscow at the beginning of the game. What you need to be doing is building up your ability to create a military presence along the Prussian border and as close to the Ottoman Empire as you possibly can. The reason for that is you want to be able to create troops and funnel them quickly into any oncoming armies. In later turns and years in the game, you can build up your cities and infrastructure further to the east. I also, because of this particular strategy, do not recommend putting a lot of money into infrastructure. Infrastructure can work against you as Russia, because it will allow anyone invading you to move more quickly through your provinces. What you're seeing right now is me going through, seeing who I can and cannot trade with. It's important for you, as Russia, to take any spy that you have and move them to an AI opponent's colleges. What happens with gentlemen in colleges is they can conduct research. Spies can kill the gentlemen in the college and thereby slow down the ability of your opponent to research technology. The other thing as Russia that I recognize in the beginning of the game is that my easiest opponent to potentially take over is the Ottoman Empire. But that comes with some risk because of the AI. If you invade the Ottoman Empire and the Austrians do not, I repeat, do not come to your aid, you will not be able to conquer the entire Ottoman Empire. If the Austrians come to your aid, you will be able to, with the Austrians, take the Ottomans out of the game early on, thereby acquiring, hopefully, additional colleges and additional income, which you can then use to build up your infrastructure, create larger armies, and support the Austrians. It's important to support the Austrians because they are your buffer between you and the French. You can see on the screen my first Russian army has arrived at Vienna to support the Austrians in their conflict. I know from playing the game before as Russia that I need to move east because, as you can tell from the map, the French have already taken a province, and that province, unfortunately, is right next to Vienna. So what I need to do is to stall the French takeover of Austria by putting the Russians on the front line. So I'm going to be moving my Russian armies to face the French, initially Russian against French only. I told you before I play the game for fun, so a lot of the missions that show up on the screen, they're missions that you can do, okay? But they're not missions that happened in the historical sense. It's something the game designers put in to make it more challenging for you and to give you a different opportunity to have fun. The other thing that you don't see on the screen are any flags moving that are outside of your field of view. I have flag movement turned off because to me that's a little more realistic, because in the Napoleonic Wars and in war, unfortunately in general, you have something called fog of war, which is you can only see what you can see, and anything outside of your point of view is not something you're aware of. I myself am what you would call a historical wargamer, a fantasy wargamer, something like that. And for that reason, I tend to try to have fun when I play. I play within the confines and the rules that are set before me, but I look for new and interesting ways to adapt and play and potentially, hopefully, change some aspect of history. It's perfectly acceptable as Russia to build up your resources in the Far East. Nobody can reach them in the beginning. It's a perfectly safe and wonderful thing to do. I typically do not put any gentleman anywhere other than in the Novgorod College. The reason for that is it's the furthest place on the board for any other country to send somebody. Typically, a different country will not send anybody there in the beginning or the middle of the game because it's just too far away. So it's unlike the other colleges in the game where different countries will send gentlemen to steal research. Your research there is basically safe. And it's also, as you see me playing the game, where I will accumulate my gentlemen. I tend to accumulate them because if I find out that there are other gentlemen there, I will try and duel them, or I will have my spies try and assassinate them to hopefully further slow down the AI opponent from acquiring technology. Here I'm moving on Munich, Bavaria, because I needed to do that. Now the reason I'm liberating it is twofold. To acquire some extra troops and to once again establish that buffer between the Austrians and the French. This buys a little bit of time. It's not in your best interest to keep your army in Bavaria. You heal too slowly. In Austria, you will heal slightly faster. Other things I can tell you I have tried as the Russians. I've tried taking, instead of attacking the Ottomans, I've tried taking a large stack of Russians at the beginning of the game and moving through Italy and then moving further west into southern France and northern Spain, and burning / looting everything and burning everything down and just taking all of that income and putting it into developing my country. Unfortunately, every time I've tried it, I've ended up stranded over there with very little opportunity or chance to return back to Russia. It does, however, accomplish a couple of things doing that. It potentially breaks the trade between the French and the Spanish, and it cripples the French economically. But that's a game for a different time. Here as the Russians, you can see I'm just going through, building up different resources. Contemplating which ones to do, which ones not to do. The other thing you're going to see me do occasionally is scan along the coastlines. The reason for me doing that is with flags turned off. It's important for you to scan to see if a different country has an invasion army in a fleet that's about to land in your country. If you're scanning, you at least have a turn or two of foreknowledge. If you're not, you'll never see it coming, and it'll be too late before they've attacked and taken your first province. So as the Russians, you have very little opportunity to acquire trade income until you potentially get rid of the Ottomans. So it's important for you to do that. What you see me doing here is I'm trying to group my Russian armies together before I launch an invasion of the Ottomans. Yes, I'm going to take that chance because I recognize it's the chance that's going to potentially give me the most gain. The other thing that you need to potentially see down the line is if you can take the Ottomans out of the game, it eliminates creating a second front for the Russians and a second front for the Austrians, which means that both of those countries can concentrate more troops and resources in fighting against the French, which is a huge thing. Now, it's my intent to try and invade the Ottomans with as many troops as I can potentially muster, because at the beginning of the game, if you add up everything the Ottomans have, it's well over 2 stacks. But it's going to be spread out over their different provinces in the beginning. I don't care if I break my alliance with Bavaria. I can't afford to go to war with a different country at this point, especially potentially Prussia. Another gentleman. Guess where he's going to go? He's not going to go into the college next to him. He's going to take the long walk to Novgorod. Still healing slowly. It's not what I expected. Do they not have... Oh... Yeah, that's right. They don't have a supply depot in this province. They have a supply depot in the other province. It's going to be a while before he can replenish his strength and move forward to fight again. I typically don't build muskets. I typically only build factories. I want the income as Russia. Requires that you save your money to build them, but you get more money in the long term. You can tell from looking at Moscow, there isn't much there. Excuse me. What to build, what to build. One thing I'm still debating if I'm going to show you in the coming episodes is my... I'm going to use the term stupidity. Typically, when I look at the videos of people playing this game online, the videos don't show them loading after something has happened in a battle and replaying the battle a different way. I think I'm going to show you me doing that, just so that you know that it's not a perfect world, okay, and that people that do these videos are not perfect. Here you see me, I've got my what I can potentially get together here for the Russians. It's the last guy I can potentially bring forward is that artillery. So let's see, we're almost set to try our invasion against the Ottomans. If you hear some whining or jingling in the background, that is one of the new puppies that are in this house. See how they're doing. They're still healing. One thing I would like to know if you watch this video is every once in a while, I get to playing the game and I eventually, go up against a country like Denmark and their troops are ridiculously leveled up. I mean to the point where I can't even level up my troops. And I also know from the context of the game that Denmark doesn't have that many opponents they've been fighting. So I would love to know how the game does that and if that can be done with the country you're playing. And if it can be done, please let me know. From a game concept, there are some things about this game that are quirky. One of those things is in the auto resolve of a battle. What I don't like is that the auto-resolve will proportion the casualties across all the troops in your army. But if you go and fight the actual battle, and it's, let's say, a smaller army, typically what happens is they will attack sometimes the center, sometimes a flank. They don't attack every unit in your army. So I don't like that it proportions the casualties across everything. That doesn't make sense based upon the way the AI actually fights a battle. If it's a smaller army you're fighting against, they typically attack right down the middle. If it's an army that's even in size, yeah, then I can see it. But a smaller army never does that. So I think I'm almost ready to invade the Ottomans now. I've pulled in everybody that was in Russia that was sitting in the background. By background, I mean the provinces further to the east, and move them to the west. So it looks like, here we go. And it was important for me to get my armies all the way up to the border and have full range of movement so that both stacks could actually be next to each other. This looks like an auto-resolve. And you'll see what I mean here. Casualties to every person. I'm going to peacefully occupy that because I want to keep that. Bring up the other army for support. Now we'll go and repair the building. And now we're going to have to wait. We need to heal up. Now there's usually a supply depot here. Is it here? It is not here yet. I don't have enough money for it right now, so I'm going to have to wait. Supply depots in particular areas are important in the beginning of the game, but not as important later in the game. At least in my opinion. Beginning of the game, like when I'm attacking here against the Ottomans, having a supply depot there in that province would have been amazing. Because there's a dog whimpering in the background, a puppy. Not quite sure what the puppy wants right now, but... Okay, so we're still healing. What we can do is we can move up to the edge of the border to prevent them, the Ottomans, from coming after me. And we did build something. We built the supply depot. Yay. Alright. Just thinking about what to do here. Because we realistically need to heal before we move forward. Is he healed? Yes, he's healed. I don't want to go north. Ostrich are still okay there and there. Can't buy any troops for them. It's my best general for the Russians. Still running a long way from Russia to France. And a long way from anywhere in a Russian-controlled territory to Novgorod. Contemplating. 4 turns is a long way off. Where are you going to? Almost healed. That actually looks close enough to move up to the edge of the border. Let's move to the edge of the border. Let's check some things here. See if that province is happy. It is not happy. So that means we're going to have to leave some troops there. Or make some troops. I don't have enough money to do that right now either. Let's see how many troops we need in there for it to turn from red to yellow. That many. That's a lot. Don't worry if your provinces are yellow. Green is wonderful. Red is very bad. We need more troops forward to reinforce our main general. It's just a long walk. Moving on the second Ottoman province. Peacefully occupy that one also. As quickly as possible. Don't have enough money to do anything. Let's see what we can do here now, for real. Really need to send somebody forward to reinforce the other stack. That just took the province of, I believe it's Bohemia. The general. Go to policies. It's still green. I want it to be yellow, not green. The chem, still green. Take some more. Take all the cav, still green. What else can you take? Take the artillery, still green. Take the other artillery. Still green. Take another one. Take the line infantry. Ah, he's got to go back. But the rest of that can come forward now. Uh-oh. They're not powerful enough to do anything. So far. Give me a high-speed rail as the Russians and I'll be happy. For those of you who haven't played, there is no such thing as a high-speed rail for the Russians. Alright, let's see what we can do then. It's almost time to end the turn. Move up to the edge. Go from there. What do we want to do? Getting up some troops. This is the challenge of playing with what I call fog of war, is I don't know what's out of my stacks. Visual sightings. We've arrived. Finally arrived at the college. If I haven't said it before, and I don't believe that I did, and you're enjoying this content, please click like and click subscribe. This channel will not just be about Napoleon Total War. It will be about games I play, places I go where I play games on tabletop wargaming. You'll also see some collections of toys, wargaming toys, that myself has and friends of mine have. That will be something we will showcase in different YouTube videos. So, like I said, please click like, please click subscribe. Not a big one for fighting battles like this, even though I know it would be better for me to do it. Just march into there. Yeah, you gotta stay there. Can't get a lot of troops. Yeah, only one turn off makes sense. Gentlemen to do research in there. Reinforcements coming to my general on the front line with the Austrians. So far away. That is a big army. A lot of artillery. Excuse me. Beat back the Ottomans who came out of the capital city to try and fight us. But that's only a first step in the battle. You're gonna have to fight him. You can't afford to have that little force siege you. Good. Back inside. Good. The army marched out to there. Ooh, that's not good. Let's see. It says we're gonna win, but we lost. Never believe it. Never believe it. When I say never believe it, that's just me being a little upset. As you can tell, I'm just reloading. And I'm going to... Do I go and heal? Do I siege them? I think I siege them. I think that will probably do what I need for it to do. Can't move there this turn. It's just me being flustered. Speed up the game, hit the space bar. Okay. Just have to refight these small battles here. Do that again. I don't know, should I fight it? Should I not fight it? Auto resolve again. Alright, they go back. One other thing I want to mention, and this is something I'll show you later on in this series of videos, is that I know there's some sort of math behind Napoleon Total War determining income based upon population and resources and trade income and all those things. I'll show you different countries playing, and I'll try to line them all up in the same year so that you can look at income and you can look at the different maps that I have. Let's go and do this again. So do we attack again? Do we auto-resolve again? Do we not auto-resolve? Siege. Auto-resolve. And this time we win. Indeed. I'm not complaining, but I just don't understand how you can lose one time and win the next time when it's literally the same attack. Oh well. Alright, but that's good. Only healing slowly. Better repair some buildings. Not enough money to do a lot of repairs right now. But, as you can tell, doing good. Austrians did join the war against the Ottomans, but I haven't seen them take any action yet. So, that means we're doing most of the fightings and the Ottomans are sending their troops against us. That could help the Austrians, though. Still moving troops forward. So far away. But that's a realistic issue. What did they come with? We're under siege. That's not good. Army there. Here. It's not a full stack he came with, though. So what do we do? Can't march all the way down. The reason I did that is if that small stack goes against, Wallachia, it'll raise, armed citizens to fight it, and if I fight that battle, I should be able to win. Very close to joining him. It's wonderful. Make his stack more powerful. So that's good. The French have not moved against Bavaria again yet. Also good. And everything else looks to be status quo on the map. One little change. The Spanish have taken Gibraltar. Doesn't mean anything to me, but wow, it's a big snake. We're just coming there. Attack. Victory. Now we gotta finish them off. Can't leave that there. It should be able to resolve. Yeah. Good. Now I can march back. Well, that worked out better than I thought it would. A lot of money right now for the beginning of the game. Fix some things. Everybody's healing. Get some additional troops. What do we want to do with him? Oh, a gentleman. Guess where he's going to? Yep. Oh, do it. There we go. Technology is moving along. You know, for still being in the first year of the game, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. We have 1,000 left, can't really spend, do a lot with that. I'm gonna go back into there so that doesn't rebel against me. Wow, we took a big beating there. We really did. Look at the artillery though. Wow. Leveled up really nice. Okay, the map. No big changes. The Austrians have taken out the Kingdom of Italy. Huh. Unexpected, but nice. You know what to do. There's the guys I just made. Healing still. What to look for? Doesn't look like the Ottomans are coming after us. That's good. Another guy for his stag. Austrians, you need more troops in your capital, you really do. Where are we gonna go? Trust. Just go there and hide for now? Okay. See that. Got some money to spend, not a lot though. Can't do a lot with that much money, that's for sure. Remember to click like and click subscribe. Thank you.